Welcome to the Infinite Canvas podcast. This is David here. So, in our generation, we've been treated to some amazing work of art in the world of film and TV. I mean, movies that are so great that no matter when they were released, you can enjoy them till now. For me, that's Lord of the Rings. For my friend John, it's Back to the Future. Now, there's also been many movies that have changed the way things are filmed now, and TV shows that are so amazing that they build this very dedicated and passionate fan base. But there's also a problem with that, because with every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And in our time, we've also been treated to some movies that are best described as finger painting. And therefore, me and John have decided to take one of those finger painting movies and see if we can touch it up a bit. So, without any further ado, please enjoy episode 2. Welcome back to the Infinite Canvas podcast, episode 2. My name is David Foz.
And I'm John Venegas. So, as promised, we are going to be doing our Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 episode. David, are you excited?
No.
Why aren't you excited?
Because it's Mall Cop.
I'm going to be honest with you. I actually had a dream about Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 the other day. Well, I wouldn't say specifically the second one, but I did have a dream about it. Where, okay, so just like in the movie, we were locked in a mall.
Okay.
And
which mall?
It's an old mall. It was a mall that got knocked down pretty recently.
Okay.
But I don't know. It was still around for my dream. So we're locked in there, and for some reason, some people that I know, classmates, have decided that they're going to beat up a security officer. And in my dream, it was not specifically Paul Blart. It was just a random police officer, security officer. In hindsight, it was probably...
I was saying, was there a perfect reason why you were beating up a, well, technically not even law enforcement, but a protector of the mall?
I was not. I was a witness to this. My classmates were the ones that were being douchebags. I was locked behind a store somewhere, and I was I was being kidnapped by the perpetrator of this heinous crime. It was a skeleton pirate creature.
Okay.
This quickly degraded to a Paul Blart / Pirates of the Caribbean crossover dream.
Did the skeleton at least have a name?
I don't think he had a name, but I think he was supposed to be Jack Sparrow, kind of mixed with Jack Skellington.
Okay.
That tells you how excited I am. I don't know what that dream was about. I don't think it had anything to do with this, to be honest.
Did that have any influence in what's coming up next in your part of this segment?
It did have one influence, and it changed how one of the characters dressed, and that's it. All right.
It's nice to know.
It's nice to know that dreams can influence reality. So, one really cool thing that I think that is when movies come out is all the media that comes out that relates to it. Like when a movie comes out, everyone's excited to go see it because of all the advertisement for it. You know, new TV shows are announced like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We get comic book adaptations, and that's what I was thinking we do today. Is that we're basically in an alternate universe in which we have been tasked with creating graphic novel adaptations for Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. The only problem is we have to get it done before the movie comes out. So we only get a few clips to watch before it comes out, and we get an idea of what the script is like. The issue is, in this alternate universe, we have forgotten to do that. And our deadline is coming up soon, and we have to finish this script and finish this comic as soon as possible. And so we're basically half-assing this. So I hope you liked the challenge that we had.
When you make it sound like that, you make us sound like big procrastinators, which I mean, pretty sure we are. But yes,
I mean,
yeah,
C's
I
get
guess you
degrees,
could
right?
say.
So,
But I mean, I did start off saying that it wasn't gonna be a good show because it's mall cop, but I think that movie gets dished on a little bit too harsh. There were some good moments in the first one.
do you have a memory of how you watched the first movie?
No. I think it was on like what channel would it have been? It would have been like either FX or USA, whatever, because he usually always play that movie on there. And
It's a it's a Thanksgiving movie. I just realized that.
wait, it takes place in Thanksgiving?
It takes place on Black Friday.
Oh.
It's a Thanksgiving movie.
Oh well, I mean, the more you know, I guess. I had no idea it was a Thanksgiving movie,
That's so weird.
but
I remember how I watched it the first time. For you young listeners out there, there was a magical thing called Blockbuster.
what? Wait, came out that long ago?
Oh, I rented it out from Blockbuster.
Oh my
Like,
god!
I don't remember how much I paid for it, but
I hope nothing.
I know we paid money for it. No, here's the thing though. It's a dumb movie, David.
Yes.
I enjoyed watching it when I was a kid. You know, it was a fun movie experience because, you know, I don't know why it was funny. It was just stupid. It was like an Adam Sandler movie without Adam Sandler in it, you know?
Yes. Then it's not an Adam Sanders movie.
So before we tackle the beast though that is Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, did we want to talk a little bit about the original movie or no?
Well, I remember very little about the original movie, or the first one. Other than he rode a Segway, and he had sugar attacks. If I'm correct.
Oh, I forgot about the sugar attacks.
How can you forget about the sugar attacks? That was like
I remembered
the
other
big
things.
thing about him. The sugar attacks he would have. I think there's a proper term for that. I have no clue.
He called it hypoglocoma, I think. Is that a real thing or is that a made up thing?
I don't know. Only if you had
oh my God.
a friend who knew medical terms.
Oh my God. I remember that. And now correct me if I'm wrong, but this was the plot. It was he was protecting the mall from some small time terrorists. Do you remember what their plan was? I don't remember what their plan was.
Yeah, I don't remember either. It was. I know it started off with him trying to train a new security dude, like a newbie on the duty, and I do remember that the dude was a double agent, I guess you can say, since he was working for the bad guys in the movie. But I have no clue why they were even trying to get into the mall.
I don't remember why either, but because I don't remember the names of any of the characters, I did give everybody names to remember them. And I could be wrong here, but I named the bad guy from the first movie Kevin.
Okay.
Because he looks like a Kevin to me. And that might just be because of Ed, Ed and Eddie, and how I always imagine Kevins as just being assholes.
Okay.
But
which one?
Just to be fair,
who's Kevin?
If we ever do have
Ed
Kevin
and Eddie.
from Ed. He's the guy with the green sweater who always called the Ed's dorks.
Oh God, I don't remember this.
He was the asshole. Well, I mean they were all assholes, but he was he was the guy on the bike. He was the guy on the bike.
Oh, I think I know who. I might have to see a picture after this.
All right. Yeah, no, that's the character. If we ever have a bully, his name is probably gonna be Kevin. I'm just throwing it out there. In anything, it doesn't have to be this.
You just offended every Kevin. You just call them all bullies.
I mean, I have a god brother named Kevin. I don't think he takes offense to that. Unless you do take offense to that. Sorry, Kevin, you're an asshole.
Wow. Okay. I'm not editing that.
Oh, what? Am I swearing too much or something?
No, you just called it. Who was it again?
Godbrother.
Godbrother an asshole.
Oh, he'll be fine. He knows I don't mean it.
Okay.
I've never insulted him in my entire life, so I'm pretty sure he knows I'm joking.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it had the potential to be great, but what was the rating on Rotten Tomatoes for the first one again? Like 23%, 30 something percent?
Oh, the first one?
Mm-hmm.
I actually remembered it. I guess it changed or something, because at first it was actually rated 3. And I think it's changed. I think last time it was a 13.
Ouch.
13%. Not as, I mean, no, yeah, that's pretty weird. The second one did a little bit better. I think it was 23. Part 2 was 23, I think. I could be wrong. I might not be remembering them. But, no, yeah, it did pretty bad.
Dude, I'm looking right here, and it says it's 33% for the first one, and Spider-Man Homecoming is 92%.
Well, those are two different movies, and
they are very different. If you had a chart, Paul Blart Mall Cop isn't all the way to the left. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but it's pretty close to the left.
And by the way, I was wrong. Completely wrong. Mall Cop 2 was a 5%. So.
Okay, this is my last thing that I'm gonna say before I keep derailing us. Pink Panther is a 22%. I don't understand that.
I forgot about that movie.
The Pink Panther was comedy gold.
Oh my
but then again, I only remember it from my childhood, so it might actually be bad. That might be consider rewatching that.
Oh, I mean, no, yeah. Now that you remind me that movie existed, I might have to rewatch it or something.
I watched the sequel. The sequel was pretty alright. I liked it.
There was a sequel?
There was a sequel. It's called Pink Panther 2.
Go figure.
They recruit him as being one of the world's greatest detectives, and they recruit 3 other detectives because they're trying to find this one criminal who's like stealing like the world's rarest items. And if memory serves, they set the Pink Panther diamond up as being like the next target to lure in the criminal.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets into like intellectual battles with like a really good detective, played by Alfred Molina, who's just amazing as a detective in my opinion. But you know, rose-colored glasses. I don't know. It could be really bad.
Okay. Well, I mean, John, we're not here to talk about Pink Panther. We're here to talk about Mall Cop.
Am I avoiding it?
Don't worry. I 100% understand why you're trying to avoid it, but we're gonna have to get to it sooner than later.
Do I have to? I wrote the words Paul Blart an unhealthy amount of times in this Word document.
See, this is where you went wrong then, because why would you write his name all out? Why not just call him Paul or Blart? Why would you have to constantly write Paul Blart?
Would you be more mad at me if I said that I wrote Paul Blart Mall Cop the entire time?
I would say that's a waste of time, but I mean, that's just me. Wait, have you even explained exactly what we're doing?
We already explained it. We're doing our adaptations of it because we didn't watch it.
Yes.
But I think you told me that you know what the movie's about.
I did see the trailer for it, and I thought I saw the trailer correctly. I got confused about certain actors being in there when they weren't actually in there. But no, yeah, I did see the trailer for it, and I've read a bit of like a summary from a movie rater from it, and all I got from it, because I didn't want to get too much information on it, is that it takes place in Vegas. After, because they want to celebrate Paul Blart's daughter is graduating and moving on to college. Did you know he had a daughter in the movie?
I knew he had a daughter, but she was a kid in the first movie. How many years after the first movie is this?
I don't know. She was a kid in the first one. Damn.
This has to be years after that.
Oh, wow.
Unless she was like in high school.
I
don't know how old kids are. I'm sorry.
Probably. But yeah, she was graduating and getting ready to leave college. And so they wanted to have lads stay together, which they decided to go to Vegas. And that's where things go wrong. And that's where I stopped reading. Because I didn't want to get any more information than that. But yeah, all I know, it takes place in Vegas. With the party with his daughter.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. I mean, like, hire strippers and all that stuff, right? That's what Vegas is about.
I think there's more things than just strippers in Vegas.
Blackjack. That's a thing, right?
Yeah. And Penn and Taylor.
And Jack Black. What?
How do you say their name? Penn and Taylor? Or Pine?
Are those the guys with the tigers?
No. Oh my God, John. No.
They're not in my script, but now I want them to be in my script.
There's the magician, the dude that always does all the talking, and the dude that never does the talking.
Like us? I'm just kidding.
We're not magicians to start off with, but
yeah, that means we're not magicians. We can't bring joy to people's hearts.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Our entire magic trick is based on talking about a movie we don't even want to talk about.
Well, we're gonna start talking about it now.
Have we hedged this for too long? It's been almost 20 minutes. We've hedged this for too long.
Oh, I mean, we can go longer, but
all right. I believe you said you wanted to volunteer and go first this time.
Yes, only because our last podcast we did, I kind of forced John to go first, even though we had agreed for me to go first. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the bullet here. Mostly because I came almost completely unprepared for this, but we'll see how things go.
Do you think the scriptwriters were prepared for that movie? Was anyone prepared? Whose idea was it? No, I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I'm gonna derail us again.
You're good.
No, you can go ahead.
Okay. Well, for my pitch for this movie, it's okay. One, even though I did read, a quick little synopsis of the second movie, it's completely different from that. It does not even take place in Vegas because this is my world and I want to write it the way I want to. So this movie actually takes place right after the first movie, like literally a couple of days after the first movie. And if I remember correctly, it is Paul that ends up helping to catch these terrorists, I guess they were, or just this evil organization that was for some reason trying to get into this mall. And so this is a couple of days after that. There's Paul is enjoying all the fame and glory that's coming from this. He's enjoying it. He's getting all these interviews. He's going on TV, showing up, in doing like meets and greets all over his city or state.
He's a local hero.
Yeah, he's a local hero. By the way, do you know what state this took place in?
I don't know, so I'm just gonna guess Ohio.
Why Ohio?
Because it's a weird and boring state.
Okay.
It sounds like the place that Paul Blart is probably from.
Okay. Well, I don't wanna do mine in Ohio, so I'm gonna choose Connecticut.
You can pick anywhere. Okay, I'm about to say you can pick anywhere except for New York.
No, I'll go with Connecticut. I forget where that is in the map, but
wait, how is Connecticut any better than Ohio?
I think Ohio is way too close to where I want them to go to, and I think Connecticut will be better.
Are they going to Washington D.C.?
No.
Okay, I'm about to say because if that's the case, then you're closer.
Okay, back to what I'm saying. So yeah, Paul Blart is living the life, town hero, state hero, all of that. And so the beginning of the movie, they're doing nothing but montage of that. Him meeting the president for some reason, I guess. Accepting the key to the city, all of that. And at this time, his daughter is graduating high school. She's in her last few months of high school, so that's the only thing I kept the same, I guess, is that graduation part. And she's she's not spending that much time with her daddy because her daddy it's busy, living up the high life, whatever. And so she's at home, applying for colleges and all that stuff. And she's getting letters returned back to her saying, "Oh, you haven't been accepted to this college. Oh, you haven't been accepted to this college." And she's feeling down because she's trying to find a way to tell her dad, "Hey, Papa, Paul, I can't, I haven't been accepted to any colleges." And but she doesn't find the chance because Paul Blart is enjoying his life, his celebrity life, I guess. But at the same time, he's also still working at the mall that he helped save. He's helping train new security people to fight crime the way he did, because
You not backstab
yeah.
him.
Yeah, importantly, yeah, that's the main part. That's like part one of his lesson. Do not backstab me. But but yeah.
With the post-traumatic stress from the mall accident, I feel like he would be kind of angry about that.
But yeah, so he's training these new up and comers to fight crime like he did. At the same time, he's going on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and dancing over there, but also he's also getting job offers from other malls. It's like not
Good mall.
yeah. You would think like maybe the CIA or the FBI would want him, but I mean, no, it's other malls offering him jobs. Particularly like the giant malls. Like, I had to research these to find out where the biggest malls were at, and that's in China. I did not know China had the biggest malls, but he's getting a lot of offers from China to come and work in their malls. They want the best security guard out there. They want the top, the best of the best, and so they're trying to get him to come work with him. And he's denying the letters. He's like, nah, I got my own spot with my own family. And so the movie continues on, and he finally, after a long day, he finally gets home, and he has like he finally has dinner with his daughter, like one on one kind of a thing. And he's praising everything that oh, our lives has been amazing after this. I'm famous. I have a perfect job. I have a good job. My daughter's gonna go to the best college in the state. And she runs out of the room because she hasn't been accepted to any colleges. It's like, oh no, happy life gone wrong.
Okay, I like this so
Yeah.
far. It's really nice, sweet. Yeah, I have a feeling that the movie has nothing to do with this.
Oh, you don't know anything yet, epic twists. But so yeah, he goes comfort her, like, hey, what's wrong? And goes like, well, you've been busy, celebrating with the Kardashians and and Jay-Z and part with Jay-Z and dance with Ellen. You never have time for me. It's like, well, I have time for you now. What's wrong? Tell me what's wrong. And she was like, well, I've applied to every college here in the state, and none of them have accepted me. And he tries to comfort her. He's like, you know what? If you can't make it this year, we'll try again next year. And if you can't make it next year, we'll try again the other year. And he cheers her up, and they're happy, or at least somewhat happy. And so then it gets later in the night. They get ready to go to sleep, whatever. And he finds a letter, a college letter. All he sees is UT, That's all it says. And he goes like, oh, we got another college letter. Maybe she finally got accepted to this school. And it's like, I don't know what school this is, but let's go. And but she does. He thinks about it. It's like, you know what? No, I don't want to hurt her feelings anymore. Maybe she doesn't get accepted. So he just leaves it there until he wakes up in the middle of the night and he goes like, no, I have to know if my daughter got accepted or not. And so he opens up the letter and he reads, and I have him reading the letter as if it was a rejection letter. So he's like, oh no, oh no. And then he finally gets to the end of it and he goes, and we want to thank you for applying to our school and congratulate you in your acceptance. And he goes like, yeah, my daughter got accepted to a college or university. And he runs into the room, wakes her up. He goes like, hey, look, baby, you got accepted to a college. And he's like, wait, I did? It's like, which college is it? It's like, oh, it's called UT. It's like, I never heard of UT, being a state school. And she goes like, well, it's not. It's in Canada. It's the University of Toronto. And she goes like, no, but you can't leave because you're the only person in my life, I don't want you to leave. So I think that's also a change I'm doing there, because I think in the first movie he falls in love with one of the what do you call it, a cart stand lady, the
cart stand lady.
I think
I have notes on here. I don't remember what her name was. I think I just started calling her Kelly.
Oh, she looked like a Kelly.
She looked like a Kelly.
But I have him. Okay, so that never happened in my story. So,
do you know what his daughter's name is?
I do not.
I just called her to Juanita. I just assumed that I assumed her name was Juanita.
Oh my god. I'm not.
It's not racist. I'm Hispanic.
Okay. I'm just. I guess I'll borrow that name then.
Instead of just saying his daughter.
So they celebrate because Juanita got accepted into the University of Toronto. But, it's also a sad moment because he's losing the only person he has, there. Because he doesn't have his parents, no brothers, no sisters, nothing. So he's a bit sad. And so, the weeks pass by and you're like, it's not time to be sad. We're going to go celebrate. We're going to have fun. We're going to make these last few weeks, the best weeks we've ever had. So it's like that Vegas part of it, but without them going to Vegas and not being a full 2-hour-long movie. Just
was it 2 hours?
I don't even know. It probably was. But
an hour that was just fart jokes.
I do know there was a part with the kangaroo, but I think it was a kangaroo. But yeah. So all of that is just condensed down to like 10 minutes, the most, maybe. And then it's like a couple of days left for her until she has to move to Toronto to go to college. And so he starts, depression starts to hit him a bit. And he goes like, man, I'm gonna lose my daughter. Juanita's leaving and I'll have no one here. It's like, maybe I'll take a job offer, maybe I'll leave the States, leave the country, and
oh, please tell me that there was a letter in the mail that says like the Toronto like mall people have been begging him to go over there and he just found out.
Well, John, how about you write my story then?
No, what happens?
He looks through the letters and he finds one from Toronto's mom. Oh my god. Oh.
Wait, did you plan that?
That's what I have written down here, John.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Again, he scrolls through the letters and he finds one for Canada. There's a big mall. I based it off the what was it called? There's one of the biggest malls in the United States is, well, in North America is in Canada. That was like the first biggest mall in the world before they started building in China. So that's what I based the mall off under. It's that one.
Mm-hmm.
And so he gets a letter from there. He goes, and the letter reads like, yeah, we're not that big of a mall anymore compared to other ones, but we will love to have you as part of our team. And he goes like, you know what? I'm down. I get to be with my daughter, and I get to work in this amazing mall. And I based it off the mall from the Canada. So it has a Olympic sized swimming pool. It has an IMAX theater in it. It has an ice ring. It has an indoor roller coaster. And it has about 900 stores. So it's a pretty large mall. And
so here, whenever we do turn this in to like our bosses who wanted us to make a graphic novel,
yes.
They're gonna be so pissed when they find out that you didn't even put it in the real in the mall that the movie is even in.
In my defense, I chose the better mall. It has an IMAX theater. How is that not amazing? Oh my god!
It's so amazing. You can watch a better movie.
You can watch the same movie, but pay more to watch it. I mean, come on, what more can you ask? Yes. So he calls him up the next day and he's like, yeah, I accept your offer. I want to go work with y'all. And that hits the news. So every news media has it. TMZ, CNN, for some reason. It's all over the
Fake
news. Oh, this the world's best security guard is leaving the States and leaving the country to go work in Canada. Okay? Now, some people don't like that. Okay? Specifically, hopefully, don't offend anybody, the Chinese mall people. They're like, oh no, we wanted him. Our malls are bigger and better. How dare he choose to go work with Canada? Okay? And it gets to the point where it becomes like almost like a secret society here. It's like every big mall in China has like their head member. So it's like almost like the Illuminati of malls. And so they gather up in a meeting hall and they're like, oh no, we have to take this man down. How dare he deny us the chance to work with us? We're bigger, we're better. So they're like, we have to find a way to take him down and ruin his reputation. And this is all happening on the side. And so we go back to Paul and his life. He tells his daughter, hey, I just got offered a job in Canada, right down the street from your school. And so we're gonna be living together. And she goes like, she's not one of those kids who like, oh damn it, I have to live with my dad again. She's excited too. She's like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would be too. I mean, she's a Hispanic person, right? Like, that's normal for us. Like, living until you're like 29 and you're still with your parents, that's normal. As long as you give them like half your paycheck.
That's. I mean, I wish I could say you're not telling the truth, but you're telling the truth. So yeah, they're excited that they're going to be together after all. And so they pack everything up and they leave the country and go to Canada.
Does Kelly go with them too, or did you just forget she existed?
No, she's totally written out of this. She never existed. They got divorced.
Just like every movie sequel ever. You're doing a great job, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
With that, yeah.
Thank you. But I guess. But yeah, they moved to Canada and they're enjoying their life there for a couple of weeks, and so it's pretty easy for them to get accustomed to their life in Canada because it's not much different than America, I guess. Hopefully, hope I don't offend any Canadians. If I did?
Canada's exactly like America, except there's a few people that speak French.
So they're a fancy America then.
What the heck was a hoy?
Isn't that what
That's
French
not
people
even
say?
French. I think you're going for like wee wee ho ho or something.
Yes, that.
Hoy.
Okay, look, I'm not French. I don't know how to do a French accent.
It's okay.
So yeah, so they live a good couple of weeks. You know, he's getting accustomed to working at this new mall. It's a lot, 10 times bigger than the mall he's working at. But he's training all these people, all this like security people are so happy to have this, star of a security guard working with them, and he's training them in his way, which is not really any way. It's just it's just normal training. But he tells him to do that fake gun thing like he does in the movie. But it's like you're not teaching them anything. You're just doing the same thing, And so
wait, do the characters call him out for this, or is it just?
Oh no,
like,
no, no! They're taking notes. Like, oh yeah, oh that's amazing. Oh the gun. You do it like this, like this. Oh yeah, yeah. Is it gonna be on the test?
I don't.
You know. So they're feeding into everything. It's a celebrity, man. Come on, it's a celebrity. And so everything's going good for a couple of weeks, and then we jump back to Japan. Or I mean, sorry, not. Oh wow. China.
Wow. You're gonna get your Asian countries mixed up.
We jump back to China.
Big difference there.
And they have the Mall Illuminati gathering up, and they're like, have you
the Mall Illuminati?
And they're like, have we finally found, our plan on taking this Paul Blart man down? And I'm like, yes. We hired our best spy we have here. She will go and she will ruin his reputation, so no one would ever want to hire him again. And
do you have an actress for this?
Yes.
Is it Ming Na Wen from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No.
I was surprised you didn't choose her.
And it's Nina Wang, okay?
I'm sorry if I got it wrong.
You just said
I didn't know
noises.
how to say it.
That's very disrespectful. That's more disrespectful than me calling China Japan. Wow.
Well, excuse me. I'm sorry. I wasn't looking at her name. I just went off of what I thought it was.
God, I have so many
People
jokes.
say my name wrong all the time. Do you think I get said?
How
Yes.
did they say your name wrong? It's John.
Venegas. I get Vegas more often than I want.
Hey, I get Faz. And Fox for some reason. Hey.
I mean, it's just 3 letters. How hard can it be?
That's what I say. But I mean, I digress.
You can continue, David Faze.
Okay, so they keep this character in shadows. Okay, she has one of those the voice modulator things to disguise her voice. She's like, yes, I would go and I will bring him down because
Wait, does he sound like Sean Connery?
No, I don't have a voice modulator thing to do it.
Do it! No! Make her sound like Sean Connery, like James Bond. Yes, I will defeat him.
And so they're like, okay, we need this job done now. So they send her out, and then we go back to Canada, and they're enjoying their life. Everything's going great. It's not as as great as it was in America, but at least they're happy because they're together. And Paul gets a call saying, "Hey, we have a new person we just hired in. We want you to come train her." And it's like, okay, well, I kind of left other managers, so they could train her. It's like, no. She specifically asked you. She wants to meet you. She wants you to be her trainer. It's like, you know what? Fine, I'll go in. And so he tells his daughter, "Hey, I won't be able to spend today with you. I have to go do a quick training." And so he goes to work. And when he gets there, he's introduced to a character. I cannot figure a good name for her, but if anybody can think of a good one, we can give her one, I guess. but it's Melissa McCarthy. Okay? She is the new
So
hiree.
is she the ninja?
If I told you now, wouldn't I be spoiling it? I mean, come on.
I mean, the way you have it set up, it sounds like she's gonna be the ninja.
Well, the way I have it set up, she can also be the wife he always wanted to have.
Okay.
Okay?
Or she could be both.
Can you not jump?
No.
Okay? Can you not make assumptions, please?
Oh,
okay. So, Melissa McCarthy is playing the evil spy. And, and
little jerk.
And so she has been tasked to, infiltrate the company or the mall under pretending to be his, his trainee, and she is tasked to whenever she gets his trust to backstab him, just like in the first movie, yeah. And again, when I did this story, I really didn't have a middle for this. So it's
so hilarity ensues.
Yeah, yeah, basically the same. So she's trying to sabotage, stores, I guess, trying to cause problems and just issues that become a little bit too hectic for him to handle, I guess. And management becomes aware of this. Is like, hey, I thought we hired the best of the best. I don't know that. And then, there's a lot less consequence, I guess, compared to the first movie. Because, I don't know what the terrorists were doing there. But they were there for some reason. And,
they were stealing money, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. But...
they were there because the plot demanded they be there.
I'm guessing so. But, I mean, the plot kind of demands Melissa to be there. But, I mean... I don't know. But, yeah. She's just messing everything up for him. And, he finally figures out that it's her. Like, hey, why are you doing this? Why are you trying to mess up my life here? And he goes, well, there's certain men who you betrayed or you dishonored by not accepting them. It's like, well, I mean, I wanted to be with my daughter and all of that. And she goes like, oh, you have a daughter? It's like, yeah, I have a daughter, and she's going to school here, and I wanted to be with her. And, it becomes one of those things where she wasn't informed about all the story part. You start to see a little bit of feeling showing up, like, oh, I didn't know you were a father, And, I guess, not to make this any longer, that kind of triggers her to stop what she's doing. And she goes like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. Don't worry. She goes like, they fall in love, I guess, because of this. And she goes like, you know what? There's something I do need to take care of, and I'll be right back as soon as I take care of it. And it it fast forwards to a little bit to the future, not as in like future, as in a couple of weeks later. And you hear there's a big story that in China, all these malls have gone into bankruptcy. Like, all these malls in China are losing money. All their stores are closing down for business. Even some of them have even like fallen. Like, physically, some of the buildings have fallen over. And then she comes back and she goes, my job is done. And he goes like, how about you and me, go out for some dinner or something. And so on, fall in love, get married, live happily ever after.
Okay, nice. I feel like you put way too much heart into it than the actual movie probably did.
Well, I mean, it's just, again, I try to go with the comedic weight again, but it's
right.
like,
no, I see it.
I'm not a comedian here, and I'm not good with the jokes. So it just got to the point where I might have to go a little bit more serious here than comedic. So I try to go a bit more in the serious way. And again, I didn't want to write full movie again, so I didn't include a middle part to it. But no, I
Okay.
think I like my story.
It was nice. It was nice. It feels like a movie sequel. Let's like you forgot the first love interest exists because like every movie sequel does that. Like you just think of one off the top of your head. Even in Back to the Future, when it was the same person, like the same character, she was still played by a different actress.
Mm-hmm. I would agree on that, but I've never seen the movie, so
that's okay. I mean, it's only the greatest movie ever made.
Oh, you're confusing it with Lord of the Rings, then.
I will fight you for this. All right. So, do you want to hear my story?
No. That's it, guys. We're ending the podcast now. It was nice listening to us.
Okay. All right. So, Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. Mm-hmm. I noticed that I didn't want to say too much because I noticed that we had a lot of similarities between our stories.
Okay. But, wait, does your character involve going to Canada too?
No, mine stays in Las Vegas. I don't think I. So, let's see. Juanita is not a very focal point of this movie, but Paul Blart is still the main focus of this. Yes. So this deals with the aftermath of the mall incident. I don't have a name for it. I'll just call it the mall incident. Mm-hmm. And we hear all over the news that he's become a national hero. Mm-hmm. He single-handedly defeated a group of terrorists, and he's given the Kevin McAllister Award by the President of the United States of America, who is played by Kevin James. See, this is the same president as the one from the movie Pixels, because Adam Sandler and Kevin James wanted to create a cinematic universe, and so every character that they've ever played in any movie basically share the same universe.
So other than that, you're having Kevin James play two characters in this movie?
Well, I didn't. Yes, it's a cameo though. He doesn't play a major character. Okay. And I kind of wanted to see this as a graphic novel, so I just thought it would be kind of funny. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, they look nothing alike. No, they're the same person. Oh.
Okay.
So Columbia Pictures announces that they will be creating their Kevin James and Adam Sandler shared movie universe. I don't know what it's going to be called yet, but there you go. It exists now. So it's the second movie. Mm-hmm. We got to make things bigger and better. And to accommodate for that, we have new actors too, playing characters. I don't know if these characters exist in the second movie because I didn't see anything except for the trailer. Mm-hmm. And I saw the trailer however long ago the movie was made. I saw it once, and I thought this is going to be bad. So I never, ever, ever saw it again. I must have repressed my memory that this movie even existed until about a week before we started the podcast. And David's like, "Hey, John, you want to talk about Paul Blart Mall Cop 2?" And I'm like, that movie exists. So
it's like the Mandela effect. It's like you think, something existed, but you did not think it was that. You thought it was something else. Kind of a thing?
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, this exists.
I remember living in a world where this didn't exist.
Oh man, that would be so great. So great. So much I want to ask for. So he is personally asked by the guy who's in charge of the Las Vegas Mall. I don't have a name for him, but he's played by Mel Gibson.
Okay.
I don't know why he's playing by Mel Gibson.
I was going to ask why Mel Gibson. It seems like that's a little bit too much for him. Like, no, I mean, I think he's way above to play in this movie. And he'll be insulted. He'll be like, wait, Mall Cop 2? How dare you? You're fired, imaginary intern.
Fine, it's just give me another guy, actor. It's Adam Sandler
Jack
wearing
Black.
a Mel Gibson mask. He's doing a terrible impersonation. You know how Adam Sandler does those bad impersonations? That's what he's doing. he's got to remind you he's Mel Gibson too. He's gonna like paint his face blue and like be like doing like a Braveheart accent.
Mm-hmm.
So Mel Gibson, who's now just Adam Sandler pretending to be Mel Gibson, is very excited that he gets to work with Paul Blart. And he tells him we have this very very famous artifact which I didn't have a name for, so I'm just calling it the MacGuffin, which is literally what a MacGuffin is. I kind of envisioned it as being a gem, but I didn't really want to say that because now I'm just thinking that I just stole the premise from the Pink Panther. And I hate when I say these things out loud. I hate when I say these things out loud. But, because then I realize, no, when I say them out loud, then I realize where I got the idea from, and now I kind of, like, get mad. But I'm going to keep going anyways. I swear to God, if it's just the Pink Panther, I'm going to stop. Paul Blart, he's very excited that he joins the elite ranks of the other officers and instantly becomes Chief Security Officer.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's super excited that he gets to work at the Las Vegas Mall. I don't actually know the name of it, but I'm just going to call it the Las Vegas Mall. He becomes the Chief Security Officer. He brings along Juanita. He brings along his mom. He brings along Kelly.
Wait, he had a mom?
Yeah, his mom was probably in the... I think I remembered her in the movie.
Oh, wow, I just killed her off in my movie.
Wait, no, hold on. Did you just ignore her existence, or did you kill her off?
I mean, since I ignored her, she would have been killed off then. Wow.
Is this gonna be... Maybe it's like the Berenstain Bears. Like I think he had a mom. So I'm in that universe.
Okay.
He is a folk hero, and he is seen by 3 new security guards. I don't really care who plays them, except for one specific one. He's played by Jonah Hill.
Fat Jonah or Skinny Jonah?
Of course, Fat Jonah. That's why I chose Jonah Hill. I didn't give the character a new name, so I'm just going to call him Jonah.
Creative?
Creative, yeah. I mean, a lot of people play the characters, and they're the same names. So Jonah is super excited because this is his personal hero. He has idolized Paul Blart ever since he saw him on the news. Mm-hmm. Through the training process, we learn about a couple of new things. The mall has always been it's always been pretty well guarded, except it's had a couple of problems recently because their head security officer previously had passed away earlier. He was played by Bruce Willis, and his name, I didn't give him one, so I'm gonna give him one now. His name will not be Bruce, because you're gonna call me out on, you're just gonna do the same names again. So the opposite of Paul would be, I'm gonna name him... I was gonna say Kevin. I'm gonna call him Mike. Michael. Mike. Just Mike.
I'm guessing this is gonna come back to us in the future?
What's that now?
I'm guessing this character is gonna be pointing to us in the future?
Oh, I mean, now you're saying it out loud, it's obvious, isn't it?
Okay,
is that what you wanted me to say?
No, I'm sorry. You may continue.
So, I hate you so much. You're gonna do this to me. Granted, I did it to you with Melissa McCarthy, but you're gonna do this to me, and I swear to God, if you do, I'm gonna quit this podcast.
Is he the bad guy?
I hate you so much. Yes, Bruce Willis is the bad guy for my movie.
I don't know if it's sad if we're that obvious or we're pretty bad at hiding things.
You did the same thing with Melissa McCarthy. I figured that one out, and you got mad at me.
I'm sorry. You may continue.
Well, now my great ending is over. The big reveal is gone because you're about to hate me when I get in here in about 2 sentences.
No, wait. Okay, everybody forget what happened. We'll all forget it. Give us a few seconds,
Oh no, they're not gonna. They don't need to forget it because you're gonna edit it out.
Edit what out?
What? Dun. Paul Blart and Jonah Hill decide to, they after an intense day of training, doing the fake gun thing and like the, just everything they did in the first movie, except Paul now shares this big old sandwich with him, and like they bond over it. It's the big old sandwich. Mm-hmm. It's like the Dagwood sandwich, like the Scooby-Doo sandwiches.
Okay. Pretty big.
Yeah. After that, it's almost the end of the day. This guy in a mask comes in and he tries his hard. He goes after that artifact, and then Paul Blart accidentally somehow saves the day. But the masked guy runs away, and if it's not obvious, the masked guy is the response. But
what?
So after a day of bonding, he's all excited and he's like, he's all pumped up. That dorky thing that Paul Blart does, where he's like all excited and tells everybody everything. He tells Kelly everything. Kelly's mad for some reason because that's what the plot needs. They need some romantic conflict. And then Paul's like, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna propose to her." And I don't think I actually mentioned that at the end of the script. So if I don't mention it, he proposes to her at the end. Or she's dead. I don't know, either one.
That's a pretty dark turn.
Well, I don't know. I didn't plan the ending with Kelly in mind. I think his daughter, and that's no insult to women character or like that kind of character in general. It's just that I don't care about Kelly. This movie is not supposed to be a romance. It's supposed to be a comedy. And they kind of just throw in a romance in there to kind of like make people think that there's something else going on when there's really not.
Why would you bring her back then? You should have just done what I did.
I'm not writing this as if I was in charge of Paul Blart. I'm writing this as in like, this is what I think they probably wanted to go for.
Oh, okay.
So then, that happens. And then his daughter Juanita reminds him, hey, you remember what happened in the first movie? Like, she doesn't say that, obviously. It's like, you remember what happened a couple months ago? Like, your dude betrayed you, the guy that you bonded over. And then it hits Paul Blart, and he's like, no, that can't happen again. I'm not that stupid. And then he spends all night just like with his eyes open, and he's like, oh God, Jonah is gonna betray me.
Okay.
Next day, Jonah and Paul Blart are working again, and Jonah's all excited because he's like, I'm gonna spend day 2 with my number 1 hero. But this time the day is a little different. It feels a little off. It's like every time they do something, Paul's just like staring at him, and he's just like, okay, bro, can you just like back off? Just like, you're in my personal space. Just imagine this is Jonah Hill doing it. It's funny when he does it. Paul gets a little too close to him because he's like, like trying to be macho and stuff. They get into a slap fight kind of thing because like you can't take them seriously and they're not gonna do a real fight. And so then they keep doing that. At some point, Paul Blart rips his pants because that's funny and people will laugh. The kids will love that. It'll be in there. They'll love it.
I guess. I mean, I'm not a kid anymore, so I don't understand comedy.
I mean, that's how old guys write comedy for kids, right? They're like, oh, kids, they like the ripped pants and they like the fart jokes, so let's throw some of those in there. When you write jokes for kids, you gotta write from a place, where you're like childish. So like it'll be genuine if you write jokes like of that nature. Mm-hmm. If you feel it. If you don't feel it, it feels really weird. But so after that, Paul Blart runs away. He's sad and depressed. Oh no! Oh, I skipped the line. He tries to propose to Kelly, and then he rips his pants. That's why it was important. Then he runs away.
Okay.
I didn't mention that. I'm sorry. And so then, after that, Jonah is kidnapped. Oh no!
God.
He's
Not
knocked
Jonah.
out. Huh?
Not him.
No, he's knocked out, and he wakes up, and there's a bomb attached to him. Mm-hmm. He's approached by the guy with the mask. He removes it, and it's boom, boom, boom. It's Mike.
What?
Hey,
God,
look. All the kids in the audience will be very surprised about that, okay? Okay? All the kids reading this book are going to be super surprised. They're going to be like, oh my god, I can't believe that the guy who's obviously Bruce Willis is Bruce Willis.
I mean, you just surprised me. This is the first time I'm hearing of it.
Oh, by the way I chose Bruce Willis is I was trying to think of the polar opposite of Kevin James.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay, Kevin James, he's like fat. He's like, that's not the point I'm trying to make. That he's fat.
Well, it's nice to know that's the first thing you said.
This is the first defining feature.
He's fat, but I mean, that's not the one thing I see about him. It's just like the first thing I said.
Like everything that I try to think of for Paul Blart, I tried to think of the opposite, and I ended up getting Bruce Willis. Mostly because of like the Die Hard movies. It's like, okay, the Paul Blart is basically like Die Hard if Die Hard, the main character, was just not good. And so then we reveal that it's Bruce Willis. He's like, yeah, I was never dead. That was just all a lie, so that I could try to steal this artifact. Now that I'm saying this out loud, it makes me realize that he probably would have had a better chance stealing it if he was still working at the goddamn mall. So,
yes, but then we wouldn't have a story.
I know, but now that I'm saying it out loud, it makes me really question like why I thought of this in the first place. So Jonah's all confused, and he starts screaming, and then he's like, "Hey, don't scream. There's a bomb attached to you. I got the trigger right here. You gotta do what I say, or you're gonna be blown up to blubber." And then he's like, "Okay, I'll listen to you, Mr. Tough Guy. We used to work together. Remember me? I'm Jonah." And he's like, "I don't remember you. You're just a fat guy. You're just a fat kid. I don't care about you. I'm Bruce Willis." So now he explains to him that he's going to, and by the way, bad guy 101, don't explain your plan. He's going to do it anyways because I don't care. He explains his plan. He's like, I'm going to steal the artifact and I'm going to run away to some Latin American country. And then now that Jonah knows the plan, he's going to tell everybody. He's like, you know what? I'm going to tell everybody anyway because I don't care. And he's like, yeah, there's still a bomb attached to you. And Jonah's like, oh, okay. Bruce...
You made him become a very whiny character. Like, I hate him.
You're gonna love this. So Bruce is like, look, I went down there earlier and I got my ass kicked by Paul Blart. Somehow. I don't think That's a line I didn't think I was gonna say. I got my ass kicked by Paul Blart. Man, I hope he doesn't get arrested. Okay, by the way, really quick, I just want to point something out. So his mom mentions that she's taking helicopter lessons. That's just, I know it sounds weird now that I'm saying it, but I was supposed to mention it earlier.
Okay. I feel like a helicopter is going to be used in the future. That's just me, but I mean, I don't know.
Look. You can't have a Deus Ex Machina. If you don't establish that it exists first, then it'll sound like you just pulled it out of your ass. If you establish at the very beginning of the movie, and it's like, hey, I'm gonna go take some helicopter lessons. Then later, when they're in a helicopter, you're not gonna be like, hey, why are they in a helicopter? No, you're gonna be like, hey, they're in a helicopter because they were taking helicopter lessons earlier. This makes sense. Just to hit it home, she's gonna be in the helicopter at least 3 times in the movie, so we can kind of like acknowledge that. So it's not just random. Except for just now when I mentioned it. So he's like, okay, look, what I want you to do is I want you to go into the mall and I want you to go steal that gem for me. And he's like, well, why do I gotta steal it? Because you got the security codes to it. You're gonna do what I say, you know? And he's like, I feel like this is just copying the plot for the first movie, except now the bad guy is just me pretending to, you know, it's just me being a hostage pretending to be the bad guy. He's like, yeah, that's the point. I want Paul Blart to think that you betrayed him. And it's like, oh my god. So now, basically, it's the plot for the first one, where it's like his apprentice has betrayed him. But this time, his apprentice is only betraying him because he's being forced to, or he will die. And he can't reveal this, or he'll die. And this sounds so stupid, but that's how this works. So he goes in there, and he tries to steal the gem, and then Paul Blart shows up, and he's like, Scooby-Dooby-Doo! You know that line from the first movie that I remember for some reason, and he, like, you know, tries to hit him with a scuba tank that he hits. I don't know why there's a scuba tank. I just know that since it was in the first one, funny joke, gotta do it in the second one.
Who said that line?
Paul Blart said Scooby-Dooby-Doo when he was fighting the original goons. He used the golf club or baseball bat. It was probably a golf club, and then he hit the valve on a scuba tank, and it propelled itself and hit somebody. And I wanted him to do the same thing here because, obviously, making a reference to the best joke in the entire movie, second to the one where he puts his hand on his hip and turns around in Segway, and he gives you the illusion that he has a gun on his hand, but me and you both know he doesn't. That's the best joke. Second best joke is the Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Third best joke is when he eats the lollipop at the end because he has diabetes and it'll keep him alive.
I do like how we both kept the gun thing.
It was the best part. So it's actually important this time. It's not just, I'm going to hit the guy. No, it hits the bomb. Like not the bomb. That would be terrible. It hits where the bomb is attached to the control. So there's no way for the control to activate now. And so then Jonah just like, oh, the thing's not working. And he explains his plan to Paul Blart. And Paul Blart's like, what? I can't believe it. You weren't betraying me after all. And then Jonah's like, that's what I've been trying to tell you. And he's like, wait, but who's betraying me then? He's like, oh, you remember when we talked about our old boss earlier? It's like, yeah, Mike? Yeah, Mike, he's alive? Yeah, he's alive. And he's trying to kill you. And he's like, what? And then at that moment, Mike is right behind Paul Blart, and he hits him in the back of the head. And then they start fighting. And when I say fighting, I mean Mike is kicking Paul Bart's ass, and Paul Bart is trying to run away.
Okay. Dude, he's doing that thing where he's crawling on the floor. And
yes, you knew exactly what I was thinking. Okay. He tries to escape, but since Paul has this hero complex, he really, really wants to be the hero. He's like, hey, I'm gonna be that guy who saves the day, and I'm not gonna keep running away. And he's like, you know what? Come at me. I will take you down. And then Mike kicks him in the face, and he's just like, oh, looks like you're gonna take me down. And then they keep running away. And at this point, he's like, okay, this is a fight I'm not gonna win. He grabs the artifact himself, and he's like, if I have this and I run away with it, I'll just like give it to the real police or like somebody else, and then like if I do that, Bruce won't have it and he'll lose. And so then as he runs away, he's upstairs somewhere. He turns a corner and ends up on a tightrope. Accidentally, just runs out the window and ends up on a tightrope that's connected to two buildings. Okay. And then he's like, okay, I'm on a tightrope. This isn't good. Turns around to get back onto the building, and Bruce Willis is right in front of him, and he's like, oh, well. And he's like, oh, no, I'm... Okay, so I could either go towards Bruce Willis and very likely get killed, or I could run the other way to the other building and hope for the best. And so then he tries to run across, and he's like dangling for his life, and he's like, I'm not gonna make it. Bruce Willis is walking towards him on the tightrope. It does that thing from Looney Tunes where they're like plink one finger at a time, dink, dink, dink. Mm-hmm. He's holding onto it, and then he's like, he'll like move his first finger, then his middle finger, then his ring finger. He's hanging on by his pinky, miraculously holding up 300 pounds of muscle, and he's just like, oh, he falls. He's about to fall, and then out of nowhere, you just see a rope. And he grabs onto it, and he's just like, what is this? And he looks up, and it's a helicopter. And his mom is like, Pa, get inside. I don't remember what his mom sounds like, so I'm just assuming it's just... I don't know what she looks like, so I'm going to recast her. It's just going to be Adam Sandler, dressed as a woman. and he's doing his terrible Jewish accent. Paul, get inside! I'm driving a helicopter because I'm Adam Sandler. Gets in. Bruce Willis is like standing on the tightrope, and then the cops show up and they surround him. The police helicopters are like, "Hey, you're under arrest!" And then, oh no, Bruce Willis is under arrest, and everybody's like surprised because he's somehow still alive. Paul returns the gem thing, and then he gets married to Kelly. Jonah's the best man. Roll credits. After credits stinger, we get Kevin. He's in jail and he's talking to Bruce Willis. I don't know how they're in the same jail. I don't know how
well, your universe only has one jail.
It's a super jail. That's where you find all the great villains from all the other Adam Sandler, Kevin James movies. So that happened.
Not many.
So how did you like my big reveal? I mean, I absolutely love the idea that your villain for this one was Melissa McCarthy, but my villain was Bruce Willis. Technically also Jonah Hill, but that doesn't really count as him.
See, when you said you were trying to go with someone opposite, I literally thought, I guess he's okay, but you just missed the big opportunity to
get Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
No, I was gonna say with Liam Neeson.
Oh my god!
In the movies, he even say, "I have these set of skills, and I know how to use these sets of skills." And Paul has no skills, so.
If I would have thought of Liam Neeson, there with 100% certainty he would have kidnapped his daughter. But who do you think is more likely to be in Paul Blart Mall Cop 2? Liam Neeson or Bruce Willis? Don't say neither, because that wasn't an option.
I would say I don't know. I think Liam Neeson will be in there.
No, I think you're right, because he was in the Lego Movie, and he was also in Star Wars Episode 1.
Wait.
He was in Star Wars. He was Qui-Gon Jinn. The guy with the green lightsaber who trained Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. It's okay if you repress your memories. Let the hate flow through you. That's the only Star Wars reference I'll ever make because that didn't make any sense.
No, it's just that I thought you were talking about the recent Star Wars movie, because I haven't seen those.
The new good ones?
Yeah, I haven't seen Episode 1, 2, or 3.
I mean, that's
4,
fine
5,
if you
and
haven't.
6.
My favorite thing about yours, I want to say, is the fact that you actually remembered that his daughter existed.
Okay.
And that the fact that, you actually incorporated her into the story.
Sorry?
No, I'm saying that you actually incorporated her into the story.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of want to make it a little bit different from the first one. And I mean, that's the only one part I wanted to keep the same from the real number 2. Is it was all about his daughter and him. So I was like, I kind of like that, so I'm going to keep that.
Oh boy, there's a lot on here for the synopsis of the actual movie. Let's see the highest. Well, let me see what the biggest name I can find on here. No. No, there's no good names on here.
Which one? You're looking at part 2, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're small-time people.
There's that dude from Wizards of Waverly Place.
Are you talking about the guy who played Lane? Let me see. Yeah, I don't care about him. Is he the bad guy? He looks like he could have been the bad guy for this movie. All right, this is a visual. This isn't a visual medium, so I just kind of realized.
It did have a big star. It had Kevin James.
It's debatable. Let's see.
Wow.
Oh my god! I just read the first line and I'm already disappointed in this. So he married the girl from the first movie and she divorced him 6 days into their marriage.
Yeah!
Oh my god!
That was a reason for me to not include her.
6 days! That's even worse than what we did! Oh my god! That's... When you start your movie like that, you know it's gonna be bad. I don't even want to read the rest of it now. What?
They couldn't kill her off. I think that would have been worse.
I know that, but they could have at least... Like, they could have just ignored she existed.
She's out visiting her family?
Yeah, do that. Don't, that's even worse. No, I could argue that that's even worse than just getting married. Did she marry him in the first movie?
No, I don't think they married.
Oh my god, they got married in the first movie. And here I am, making them marry in the second one. Oh my god. We are so off on all of this.
I think I was pretty spot on.
I mean, you did a good job not keeping her in the movie, but like now you have to explain why she's not around.
She died.
Oh my god.
I killed off his mother, okay? I think killing another person off wouldn't be that big.
You did, okay. I know you killed off his mother, but so did the movie.
Oh my god!
So this movie takes place 4 years after the original one, and his mom is killed 2 years after the accident. Like, she's killed in movie, in fiction. She's killed because a milk truck hit her.
Oh my god.
You know, I think this movie hates itself more than we hate it.
I was just joking. I think everything I say happens now, so I'm not gonna say anything else. I'm scared I'm gonna say something and it's gonna happen. Oh my god.
Oh my god, I'm
Fine,
scared.
I wanna watch this movie now.
Yeah, I kinda wanna watch this movie too, to be honest. I gotta know what we got wrong.
I gotta know how my movie's better than this one.
Man, you know what? I gotta admit, this was a tricky subject to go into. It's like, how do you make an adaptation for something you've only, like, a sequel to something that you've only ever seen once? And it's not just that, but it's like, something you don't want to write.
Oh no.
It was so hard.
The people from the Transformers movies.
I thought Michael Bay, you know that Michael Bay has been confirmed to make the new Dora the Explorer movie?
Oh my god. If this is Dora the Explorer meets Transformer, I think Michael Bay is going to be my favorite director.
I don't even understand. But, hey, you know what exciting movies are coming out soon? I'm really digging that new Thor Ragnarok. Whenever that comes out, that looks like it will be a blast.
Who?
Thor Ragnarok?
I don't know this character.
Well,
Who is he?
Okay, so he's this really cool mythological figure from Norse mythology, and a while back, Marvel Comics decided, hey, you know what would be really cool? You know, Superman's cool and all, you know, but we got an even better thing to compete with them. That's Thor, the actual god of thunder from Norse mythology. And eventually, this became this really popular comic line. Down the line, he joined the Avengers, and you know, they came with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and we got a real Thor movie. He's a member of the new Cinematic Universe's Avengers, and it's really cool because we get to see this god character like in the modern day, and how he's presented nowadays. Where it's like, okay, how does he fit into the modern day? And I thought it would be kind of cool if for next week our challenge would be we come up with our own mythological figures. Like, we've already... I know that it sounds like I'm just now coming up with this. We've talked about this a little bit already.
Yeah?
And so, we haven't revealed to each other which mythological figures we're working with. We just revealed to each other what parts of the world we're coming up with ideas for. And we'll tell you guys next week. But I'm really excited. We're going to be coming up with our own mythological heroes. So, if you're excited for that...
Spoiler?
What's up?
I chose Thor.
You did not choose Thor.
I chose Thor.
I mean, You don't just... Okay, you can't just tell people what you're picking, because I picked Jesus, and I don't want to let everybody know, hey, I just picked Jesus. 2, you can't pick Thor, because the point is we're coming up with a new interpretation of something else.
Oh, okay. Change it to Loki.
Okay, so right off the bat, gonna say Norse mythology off the table.
No.
That's like the most sarcastic no I've ever heard. Alright. Before we go, shameless plug. You can follow us individually on Twitter. I am at JohnnyVE3. David is... What are you again?
Damn it! I always forget.
I think it's at CCFuzz.
Yes. I forget if there's an underscore in there or not. I think it's at CCFuzz. At CC_Fuzz.
You can follow us on
FAZ.
What's that?
Fuzz. FAZ. Not many people know how to spell my name, even though it's just 3 letters.
You know, it's really hard for people sometimes, just because, you know, it's one of those things where when the name comes from another language and you're not familiar with it, you're gonna get it wrong. It's like when I said, and I'm not gonna say it, I want you to say it. The lady from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes, I'm gonna say it like you did. Manyawa.
Don't say it like me. The point though was for you to say it correctly, so I wouldn't disrespect her again. If she listens to this, I do apologize.
If she listens to this, I want to hang out.
Okay. You heard that here. You can follow our main Twitter at Sci-Star Comics. We have a new one at CanvasCast. Super easy to remember. One word, CanvasCast. And when I say one word, I mean like no spaces, no underscores. If you liked what David had to offer, just tell us. Hashtag TeamDF. If you liked what I had, really easy. Hashtag TeamJV. You can always send us fan art. You know, that's always a good idea. Just like draw me as Paul Blart or David as Paul Blart. We're already big guys, so it wouldn't be that hard to imagine that. And I think David already left. I haven't heard him in a while. David, you're gone.
I'm sorry. I was punishing myself for having to sit through this whole mock-up.
This is your fault. You wanted to talk about it.
You know, there's a very simple word in the English language that could have been used, and that is David. No. No. And that would have solved everything. But I mean, that's just me.
All right. Well, then. So did you want to do our mythological figure episode next week then?
Yeah. I mean, after you ruined my whole not North mythology people, I'm gonna have to choose a real person now. You know how hard that is. You know, do you know how many mythological people there are in the world? There's a lot, John.
You make it sound.
There's a lot.
There are a lot. That's the point. Open your eyes. Expand your knowledge. And by the way, you ruined my bit. You were just supposed to say no.
Oh. Oh wait, okay, ask the question again.
No, I'm not gonna ask the question again. Goodbye, everyone.
No, I know, ask the question again. You're not gonna ask. Thank you again for listening to our second episode of the Infinite Canvas podcast. If you want to follow our show, you can do so at CanvasCast on Twitter. You can also follow our main account, Sci-Star Comics, SCISTAR Comics, on Twitter as well. We just update our web series there. You can also read our web series at psychstar.net. And as of recording this episode, we've also been able to upload our first podcast episode on iTunes. So we really appreciate if you could head down there, download and comment, even share with friends. Thank you again for listening, and get ready for the next episode where we try to make our own Thors, but a little bit better. Thank you.